Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Recipe with Dr. Stepheny Finnie. It is my hope that through each segment, you will gain ingredients to live your best life. One seasoning I'm personally passionate about is in the area of health and wellness. In fact, I host an Instagram Live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time titled, Do You Know What's in Your Feminine Care? But I will speak more about this at the end of the show. As always, and today is no exception, I should be having another special guest that is not only a wife and a mother, she is also a credit and financial literacy specialist. She is Miss Charmaine Santos. And as we wait for her to come on board, we're going to give it a few minutes, but I always believe that there is no such thing as downtime. So if we're going to have a show, then I will give you the content. And I am, of course, going to talk to you about what I believe in, which is safe and non-toxic chemical products, non-toxic feminine care products. There we go. And the product that I recommend is Rain Feminine Care. And I just want to talk to you about this. I know if there are any men listening or any men watching, please do not shy away from this topic because women give birth to boys and girls, and then they grow up to become men and women. So this is not a taboo subject. It's something that we really need to hone in on. We need to talk more about, and we need to share this information because a lot of women are suffering in silence. And when I say women, I'm not just talking about adult women. I'm talking about young girls, the daughters, the nieces, the young ones are going through a lot of issues that they shouldn't have to go through. And for years, I did the same thing. Okay. For 21 years to be exact, I was loyal to a product, to an over-the-counter brand. And I do not bash products, so I won't say what that brand is, but this brand was an over-the-counter brand. And I used it for many years because you could not tell me that there was toxins and chemicals in the product that I was using. It just baffled my mind. It didn't make sense that that would be an issue. So I went along with, I'm going to be very honest. I believe, we got to put the conversation out there and really be real about the issue. I had excruciating cramps, heavy feminine flows to the point to where I would take off work sometimes and, or go to work and, what we do, we just suffer in silence and we're dealing with cramps and, having accidents at work and having accidents at home, when you go to bed at night on your sheets and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I just continued to do that until at the age of 40, something extra was going on with my body because I'm very in tune with my body. And if it's not right or something's a little off. So I went to my gynecologist. And to make a long story short, I had to go back for 3 back-to-back doctor's appointments. And after 3 days of back-to-back blood work and test results, I found out that I was having an allergic reaction to my feminine care product and that I needed to stop using it immediately. And it was only because of that I actually said, oh my God, I need to find something else. I need to look at something else. And it's so crazy because mentally, why didn't I think to do that before? Why didn't I think to go ahead and step out and try to find something better rather than wait until my gynecologist told me you're having a problem with your feminine care? That's the issue. And you need to find something different immediately because what you've been using is causing you problems. And that's why you've been having all these issues. So I went on this journey for about 1.5 years, and thank God for a good friend by the name of Mr. Norman Ray, a male, obviously, who asked me if I had heard of the Justice for My Jewel campaign. And the Justice for My Jewel campaign is a women's awareness campaign that educates on the harmful ingredients in many of our over-the-counter sanitary products. Now, obviously, no, I'd never heard of that. And so I asked, there has to be a solution to this problem or a option. If you're going to give me this campaign, tell me what the solution or the option is. And he told me at the time it was called Rain Feminine Care. They've had a name change. It was Jewel Feminine Care. Now it's called Rain Feminine Care. And I tried the product, and after 3 months, I fell in love with it. And I mean, it blows my mind. I no longer have excruciating cramps. I no longer have heavy feminine flows. I am literally, able to, go through life or the rest of my time of my feminine flow and just coast through. And it's a superior product. It has a Nobel Prize-winning technology in it called graphene. And, it's awesome. This is the packaging, okay? I mean, I think that's so pretty to see something packaged like this. You would never think that this is a sanitary napkin product, but it is, and it's beautiful. And something that I did not realize until I started shopping around and looking around because of the things that I was going through, and I was forced again to find something else. This has an expiration date. Matter of fact, it has a manufacturer and an expiration date. And the expiration date says 7/29/2023. And so for any of you ladies or men that go buy these products for your important women in your life, do you ever check to see if there's an expiration date on your feminine care? I can tell you that the product that I used for 21 years did not have an expiration date. I never thought anything about it. It never, you know, it never was a thought to even consider, because I thought, you're going to get this product, you have to have it every month, it must be safe. But there is a chemical in a lot of those feminine care products called dioxin, Dioxin. You should Google it. And yes, expiration date. Yes, ma'am. There is. I never thought about it as well. Thank you for stating that, Ms. Danae. And I didn't realize that the companies know about dioxin. And I'm not saying all of them, because again, I'm not bashing all brands, but the majority of these manufacturers of feminine care products know about dioxin. But per the studies that I have read, they believe that it's such a low amount that it's not going to affect a woman over time. But I am the example that yes, it can affect you over time. It really can. In fact, I had a miscarriage before I gave birth to my son in 2011, and it could have been because of the dioxins and all the chemicals and toxins that had built up in my body. I wouldn't doubt it, But something else about this product, this packaging, it is waterproof. It's waterproof packaging. So in transit, it does not have any issues with any type of air. Well, air is not the issue, but anything getting inside, water, anything that's going to affect this product. And when I tell you it's sealed, I mean, I'm not going to use this because this is my demonstration one. But when I tell you it's sealed, it's sealed. And when you pull the product out, it looks like this. So you can throw this in your purse if you want to. It's sealed. Whereas I'm going to show you the one that I used for many years, and I won't name the brand because some of you may know what this is. And yes, I am showing a sanitary napkin on this show because I want to give you the ingredients to live your best life. So I need you to live your best life and listen to what I'm saying. Yes, we're going to have that conversation, and I'm going to do a demonstration now that I know that this is where we're going for this episode, because you don't just need to hear me, you need to see me and understand what's in your feminine care. And I think if you see the demonstration, you'll really get it and it'll hit home. But let's start right here. This product is what I used over the counter for many years. When you look here, you can actually see the sanitary napkin inside. Whereas with this one, it's completely sealed. So if you throw this in your purse, it's no big deal. Whereas this one, and let's be real, ladies, we take this, we throw it in our purse, and all of the stuff that's at the bottom of the purse, because we throw stuff in there. We have probably all types of crumbs at the bottom of the purse sometimes. It has a chance to get in here. And then we go to the restroom and we shake it out and hope that nothing got in it and we use it. That's real. Okay. Now this is sealed. You open it here and you open it here. So it's completely, and here. So it's sealed. And literally put it in your purse. You don't have to worry about anything getting in this, but there's a medical component to this. And the medical component to this is that this can be sealed because it doesn't have any toxins or chemicals inside. It doesn't have to breathe. This has to breathe. It has to be open in this way. Okay? Think about it. All right. Now, let's get right into my demonstration. I don't see a reason to wait. I'm going to adjust a little bit as we move forward. And while I'm adjusting and getting set up, I want to talk to you about the younger ladies that are using Rain Feminine Care, to include my daughter who's 14. Now, she actually has never had cramps before. Never. She's never had excruciating cramps or any type of heavy feminine flows because she started on this product. She started on this. So she hasn't had to worry about any of that type of stuff. And I think that's awesome. And that's what I want to do. I want to have a generation of young girls who don't deal with the issues that we dealt with. Okay, I really don't. And while we do this, I'm going to get set up for my demonstration. And normally I wouldn't go into a break that quick, but I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break and come back so that I can really get everything set up so you can see what I'm doing. So we'll go to a break and then we'll come right back. Thanks.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Dene, and I want to tell you about a product that has changed my life. Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Rain products are infused with a Nobel Prize-winning material called graphene. It's the graphene strip that provides the various health benefits that can improve your quality of life during that time of the month. Listen, I've been very loyal to a certain brand of feminine products, but I've never experienced the results I get with Rain products. The difference is in the graphene strip. Using Rain products has totally eliminated the painful cramps I experience, and it can also help balance your body's pH, eliminate harmful bacteria, and help fight fatigue. Graphene moves heat away from your core to keep you cool and comfortable. Ladies, it's time to upgrade your feminine care with products that not only offer protection, but also improve your health and wellness. Place your order today and receive your premium sanitary napkins delivered directly to your door. Visit www.drfcare.com to make your purchase today. And don't forget to mention that your girl Lisa Dene and Stunner Radio sent you.
Okay, welcome back to the recipe, everybody. We're pivoting and we're having a change of plans, and our originally scheduled guest was not able to show up, but that's all right because the show must go on. So now I'm going to go through a demonstration on feminine care. And yes, it's about to get real. Okay, so I want to show you something. This is the over-the-counter sanitary napkin that I used for many years. And I'm going to place it in front of me and put 50 milliliters of water on it. Okay, and I'm going to try to hold it up because if I was able to connect through my tablet, you'd see it differently. But this says 9 hours leak guard protection. First of all, we should not be wearing anything sanitary that long, but I'm going to show you there is something called false advertising. Now, I'm going to place 50 milliliters of water again on both sanitary napkins. And the reason I go with 50 milliliters is because per the average woman, the medical community, the average woman's feminine flow is 50 milliliters. And let's see how I can adjust this. I'm placing it first on the over-the-counter. I wish I could show you exactly, but that's okay. Okay. And then I'm going to take another 50 milliliters. And I understand that, when we think about that, it's like, really 50 milliliters is what they say. I know I definitely flowed more than 50 milliliters, and that's okay. That's okay, because at the end of the day, we're going to go with that just for this demonstration, and then we're going to move on. And so in placing the 50 milliliters of water, I'm going to give you a statistic. And the statistic is that, did you know that over 600,000 women annually have hysterectomies in the United States? Yes, 600,000 women. 70% of those are women of color. And I believe that is a direct result of their feminine care. I really do believe that. And, it used to be an anomaly for us to have hysterectomies years ago. It was like that was the last thing that we dealt with in the grand scheme of the evolution of, having a cycle, if we even had to deal with that. And usually doctors try to do all of these other things before, saying, let's do a hysterectomy. But now it's becoming like the first option. And that is so sad because it wasn't like that before. And now it's becoming a first option. And think about the ladies, one, who don't have children or have not had children yet, because that option is taken away from them. And that's not fair. And then for those that even have had children, period, that's a major surgery. The recuperation time is 6 weeks minimum, and I mean good 6 weeks. And your whole anatomy changes from what I've seen. I have relatives and friends, very close friends that have had that surgery, and it's a lot to go through. It really is. So I'm gonna press down on the over the counter. Okay. So I press down. Let me wipe my hands off. I just took a napkin. And I apologize that you can't see this, but tune in tonight at 9 p.m. and you'll see it in full detail. But this is the over-the-counter. This is what it looks like. So it's wet. And let's go back. This says 9 hours leak guard protection. I've just put the water on there like a minute ago. Okay, and so now I'm going to press down on the Rain sanitary napkin. I wish I could show you this, but again, my camera view. But I'm pressing down very hard because I'm not going to be gentle. But this is... So you have to ask yourself if you want to be wet or you want to be dry. That's real. Okay. Now, although you didn't get to see that part in detail, I am going to show you what's in both of these because I think that's important. And once we go there, maybe you'll get another, idea of where I'm trying to go with this. So I'm going to start with the over the counter, and I'm going to show you what's inside by going through the top layer. So I'm just pulling this apart, and anybody can do this. So this is the top layer. This top layer is wet and plasticky. Wet and plasticky. That's the only way I can tell you that. Oh, yes, please. You can ask the question, Ms. Beverly Arnold, at any time. Anyone, this is an open forum. I'm looking for questions. So please pull them up, and I promise you I will respond to them. Meanwhile, I'll keep going through the demonstration. So wet and plasticky. That's what this is. And I want to give you a visual, ladies. This is the part that we sit on. So it should be very comfortable. And this is wet and plasticky. This is the next layer. Okay. Do you see any color here? There's a blue dye in this area right here. That blue dye should not be there. Why would there be blue dye there? Ask yourself that question. Why would there be blue dye in the most sensitive area of our body? Over time, that can go directly into our bloodstream. Now, this is the part that's supposed to be the absorbency, and I can definitely give you a good count. This is recycled newspaper that has gone through a 12-step bleaching process. That's it. I'm going to place that in a cup with 50 more milliliters of water and hope that it will absorb. Again, 50 milliliters of water. And I'm just placing it right here. And I'll set it to the side. Okay, now the bottom layer. What age does your period stop? That's a great question. It varies, Miss Arnold. It varies depending on the woman. There are some that go into premenopause in their 30s. There are some that go into their 40s. I met a lady at a conference, and she was 52 years old, and she said, "I'm still flowing heavy." And I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, I thought, like late 40s. So it just depends. There's no specific age range. It's no different than starting your cycle. Young girls are starting their cycle at the age of like 8 years old. I started when I was 14, thank God. My daughter started when she was 13, and she's 14 now. But I'm thinking to myself, 8 years old, what can someone at the age of 8? I think I was still playing with dolls at the age of 8. So I can't imagine starting, but nevertheless, what age you're still having? Wow. Okay. Well, I met another one. That lady was 52. You're 55, Miss Arnold. So yes, it's still possible. Still possible to have the cycle in that later part of life, but that's okay. It's not a bad thing. You just still flowing. So there you go. All right, let's look at the bottom layer. This right here is the bottom layer of that over the counter, and it is literally a trash bag. This is plastic. Okay, so let me give you a visual, ladies. You have a bottom layer that attaches to the undergarment. That's what this is. I couldn't rip it up. It's trash. It's a trash bag. It's attached to the undergarment. The next layer you have is this recycled newspaper that's gone through a bleaching process. That's the dioxin. My dear friend is 62 with a cycle. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, 62 with a cycle. I keep hearing the numbers coming in. All right. Thank you for that fact. And then the next layer is this blue dye layer. And then your next layer, which is the part you sit on, is this recycled newspaper. I'm sorry, plasticky wet. Plasticky wet. So when you take all of that together, that is a recipe for disaster. There are three things that create yeast. That's moisture, darkness, and heat. You already have moisture because it's that time of the month. You have darkness because of the area that it's in. And you have heat because your body temperature goes up to 98.6 degrees during that time of the month. And ladies, let's put it out there. Do you not feel hot or extra hot in that area during that time of the month? Okay, that's why. So you need a sanitary product. And I do not advocate for tampons, okay? I do not, because the same stuff that I just showed you is in the over-the-counter, the plastic, the blue dye, the plasticky wet, the recycled newspaper. It's in your tampons, but you're putting it inside of you. That is the only difference. Yes. I started in the 8th grade. I wanted gone. Yes. I started when I was 14. I was a late bloomer, thank God. And I get that. And I wouldn't have a problem if mine went away today. Okay. And I'll be 45 in June. But I do plan to still use Rain panty liners. And I want to talk about the panty liners real quick, and I'll go to that. The panty liners are awesome because of the graphene strip. Matter of fact, I'm going to get to that later because I want to get through the rest of this demonstration and show you what's in the Rain sanitary napkin, because I feel it's only fair that I do equally for both. So I've shown you what's in the over-the-counter. Now let me show you what's in the Rain sanitary napkin. So let me take this apart and show you the inside of this. Okay. And yes, feel free to post any questions. Okay, did you guys hear me? Okay. Did you guys hear me? Okay. I don't know what part did you hear me on, because I think that my mic got muted really quick. So I apologize if that happened. I'm going to backtrack real quick and make sure that I covered what I needed to, because it muted all of a sudden. I don't know what happened because I didn't touch anything. Okay, it was just for a minute. Okay, cool. All right, so let me backtrack, and I believe I got through the comment about the demonstration for the over-the-counter sanitary products. Okay, so let's go into the Rain sanitary napkin. Okay, let's talk about that. Now, with Rain, this is the top layer. Okay, it's soft. It feels like cotton, because that's what it is, and it is dry. And this is the part that you sit on, ladies. Again, you need a sanitary napkin that's breathable. You need breathability from the part that you sit on to the part that actually attaches to the undergarment. Remember that. Okay. Now, there are a total of 8 layers of cotton on this sanitary napkin. And that is so awesome, because that's something that you want cotton. You just want natural cotton. And I want to talk about real quick the difference between, a lot of people will probably ask me or chime in and say, hey, is that organic? No, it is not. It is not organic. And the reason it's not organic is because before the company was started, they did what was called a feasibility test. And the feasibility test had 2 Rain sanitary napkins. One was organic and one was not. And they sent it out to, I'm just going to say, 50 different women all over the US. And all 50 women chose the one that was not organic. And it was just labeled product A, product B. So they didn't know which one was which. So let's just say that A was the organic and B was the proprietary blend. All 50 chose B, the proprietary blend. And, different comments were made about, they didn't like it because of various reasons. Some could have been, it didn't feel as good, or, it didn't stay together like it should have. So I'm not knocking organic products. I think organic products are great, but it doesn't have to be organic. This is a natural product. It is non-toxic, it's chemical free. So think about that. I'll put you in that headspace. Now, this is the 8 layers of cotton. Well, actually, this is 7, because the top layer is 8. And it's just layers with, what is this? This is just some, layers of cotton. That's all it is. And I'm going to roll this up. Oh, along with polymer. That's what the little beads. The beads are polymer, which is what's in baby diapers. And, it's just a very high grade polymer, which is great. And it feels a little cool to the touch, but it doesn't feel cool when you use it. It's just something to help in that area, because remember, again, our body temperature goes up to 98.6 degrees. So that's why, we have to, we're blessed to have a sanitary napkin like this, because it's going to work with our body and not against it. And I'm going to take another cup with 50 milliliters of water, and I'm going to pour that in this cup, and then we'll go to the bottom layer. That's this. Okay, this is the bottom layer of the Rain sanitary napkin. Do you see any lines? That means this is breathable. You need breathability again from the part that goes on the undergarment to the part that you sit on. If I put this over a tea kettle, steam would come through the top. That means it's breathable. And it is not plastic. I can take this and grind this up in my compost. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for the environment. Now let's talk about graphene. This is a graphene strip. Graphene is something that you may not have heard of, but you have probably heard of graphite because this is graphite. But if you take graphite and you break it down to 10 layers or less, it becomes graphene. Graphene is bendable, movable, pliable. It's in a lot of things. We use it a lot more in foreign countries than we do in the United States, but there are some countries and some companies that are learning more about it. And what it basically is vibrational energy. And what that means is that it's always producing, it's always alive, it's always moving. And we're going to test that theory here in just a minute. But here are 2 books on graphene. Okay, so it is real. You can Google it. And graphene was founded in 2004 by 2 physicists who won the Nobel Prize in 2006. Okay, a coworker told me that her stepmother is 65 and still having her period. Wow. Yeah, I just had someone type in and tell me that their person they knew, I think they said 62 or 67. Yes. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm learning more and more that there are older women that are still on their cycles. So you need this product. You need this product at any age. But graphene, vibrational energy, 2 physicists won the Nobel Prize in 2010. It was founded in 2004, but they won the Nobel Prize in 2010. So this is Nobel Prize winning technology. Nobel Prize winning technology. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the theory so we can see if it's always alive and always moving and all that stuff that they say it is. All right, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to place this in a little bit of water and just see with a current. And I am using a light bulb, but think of energy in a lot of different ways. Energy can be produced through a water dam, like the Hoover Dam. It can also produce energy in forms of a windmill. I'm from Oklahoma, born and raised, so a windmill produces energy. Now, it's wet, light bulb. Matter of fact, 7 watts, not going to light up a kitchen, but let's see. Okay, and just so you don't think this is a magic trick and I have something in my hand, let me put it in the other one. Because you see, I'm literally pulling stuff out. Okay, so that means that it is always alive and always conducting and always moving. Now, why is that so important for our feminine care? That's because it is always working with your body and not against it. And what I mean is that it's always working to help with pH balance, odor. Yes, I'll talk about that. Odor, any type of heavy feminine flows, cramping, all of those types of things. And by the way, I still have cramps. Okay, I still go through that during that time of the month, but they are not as excruciating as they used to be. They used to be terrible. Oh my gosh, it was just excruciating. But now they are very bearable. And I start on the heavy pack. Everybody loves this pack right here. Everybody loves this. This is our #1 seller. Yes, you can go to drfcare.com. My name is Dr. Stepheny Finnie. You can go to Dr. Finnie, drfcare.com. I'll have it typed in the chat later. Hey, Miss Ashley, how are you? Thank you for joining. This is the pack. Matter of fact, this is Ashley's favorite pack. Love this product, this one. It is super long. It has double wings and it's very, very thin. I have a young lady that uses this product and she has some incontinence issues as well as, I mean, she was actually born with these incontinence issues and she had a lot of more issues from the over-the-counter products she was using, but now she's using our black pack and she's like, you know, I can still wear my little sexy black dress and feel feminine. And that's the goal in Reign Feminine Care, is to let women still feel feminine during that time of the month. You shouldn't feel out of sorts or out of place when it's that time of the month. No one can do what we do. No one can bring children into this world. That's what your body was built for. But that doesn't mean you have to suffer through it because of that during that time of the month. I no longer have accidents at work, home, nothing. That is amazing. And my daughter, again, has never had cramps before in her life. Thank God. I even asked her, I asked her in January, have you had cramps? She's like, I don't even know what a cramp is. Good. You don't need to know. You don't need to know. Now, graphene. Another key thing is that it helps remove heat from your core. Okay. So if you take graphene and you look at it under a microscope, you will see that there is an atom. And with that atom, if any type of bacteria comes into contact with that, it will slice it in half. And the reason why I'm looking around is because I'm preparing to do another demonstration for you. But yes, it does. It helps remove heat from your core. So remember, I said that our body temperature goes up to 98.6 degrees during that time of the month. Well, graphene helps with that. Now let's talk about odor real quick, okay? And I can be upfront with this. I never had issues with odor, but the reason I didn't have issues, I believe, is because I used to have a little Timex watch that would ding every hour on the hour and tell me that I needed to change my sanitary napkin. And when I did do that, it was soaked through. It was terrible. I'm just going to be honest. But I didn't have issues with odor because I changed that frequently. But I do have ladies that tell me, again, frank conversation, real talk, just keeping it real. They don't have issues with odor anymore, and they are blown away by it. And I'm like, absolutely. Ladies, why should you have odor during that time of the month? Ask yourself that question. It is your sanitary care. Now, okay, let me back up. Let me be real. If you're not being clean during that time of the month, possibly. I'm a real person. But if you are, maintaining good health, taking showers, doing what you're supposed to do during that time of the month, you should not have issues with odor. Did you ever think it was your feminine care? We don't. We think it's us. We think we're supposed to have heavy feminine flows. We think we're supposed to have cramps. We think we're supposed to go through all this stuff. No, you are not. The devil is a lie. Please start researching what you have. Yes, thank you, Miss Beverly. Yes, agreed. We have got to start making smarter choices. We've got to start thinking outside of the box and stop thinking that we're supposed to go through this. And it's that time of the month. I'm supposed to get ready to have headaches and heavy feminine flows and cramps. No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't fall for that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this graphene strip and I'm going to place it in another cup of water because I want to talk to you about detox. The reason being is because I want you to see the effects of graphene and how it cleanses and detoxes the body. And in doing so, this is, again, a half a cup of water, very clean, just clean water, that's spring water. And I'm going to take this iodine solution and I'm going to dilute this water and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I do that. Okay. And so now this is what it looks like. It's dirty. And what did I do with my straw? There it is. Awesome. Now I'm going to take this graphene strip. I'm going to place it inside and then watch this. There you go. Clean water again. There are some countries like Africa, areas of Africa that actually have said, we can't find clean water. We don't know where a well is to dig up water or whatever, or if they dig up a well and it's still not the cleanest water. So they're using graphene to clean their water. It does the same with our bodies. It detoxes, it helps us. It works with us, not against us. This is a phenomenal game-changing product. This is also a Black-owned company out of Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, Jewel LLC with Mr. Damon Crump and his wife. Together, they started this company, Mr. and Mrs. Crump. And it is, like I said, this is just, if you support Black-owned businesses, and if you really want to stop suffering in silence, ladies, men, if you want to see women in your life live happier, healthier lives, you need to look at this product. It's only $6 a package. Okay, so that is not breaking the bank. It's not in stores, but it does ship within 1 to 2 business days. Shipping is very inexpensive, and you can't put a price on health. Okay. And I'm going to tell you like this because I have the guest on. We will do her segment. It's just be shorter. You can choose wealth, which is health, or you can choose illness. So you can choose wellness or illness. It's one or the other. You have to make a decision. For 21 years, I chose illness. And I blame myself. I don't blame, I turned 40, went to the gynecologist, and she said I was having an allergic reaction to my feminine care. And so, that's the problem. No, the problem was me. Because I could have thought years before, let me look at another product. Maybe there's something else out there that will help me. Why do I have to suffer like this during that time of the month? But I never did. I assumed that I was supposed to go through that because I was a woman and it was that time of the month, and that's just all I saw and all I knew. But we've got to make smarter choices, ladies and gentlemen who have important women in your life. So again, choose wellness, don't choose illness. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back with Ms. Santos. Thank you so much.
And the packaging, it says Jewel on it, and she sent me so many different, I mean, it's for moderate flow, heavy flow. Hold on. And this was my favorite.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite.
I can always appreciate an overnight, but what I was really impressed by was the length, how long it was.
And how it's not as thick.
If you guys still get those healthy friends, sometimes that thing could just be out of control and never do what you asked it to do. It'd be all over the place. But honestly, like, I had absolutely no problems at all. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate this product so good, because a lot of people, they want to send you stuff, and it's like, okay, you want to believe in everybody, but everybody's product is not a good product, especially something when it comes to feminine hygiene and sanitary this and you got to be very careful, because sometimes, whatever the stuff is made with, it don't always agree with your body chemistry. But I had absolutely no problems, and I wouldn't even say this if I didn't mean it. I gave the girls in my podcast, they use it. My podcast member, she don't even use sanitary napkins. She's like a tampon girl. Mm-hmm. But she really appreciated this, and I thought, I have to tell you this. I couldn't wait to get on here to tell you this. So for everybody that's on here that's still going through them, getting those monthly visitors, please support Dr. Finnie's business. I tried it myself, and I loved it.
Wow. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Recipe with Dr. Stepheny Finnie. Oh, somebody chimed in. Let's see. That is an amazing demo, Doc. So you can't put a price on health. My niece loves. Oh, that's awesome. Miss Harvey, Miss V Harvey, that's Dr. Harvey. How are you? Thank you. I'm so glad that she loves the product. Does our period clean us out every month? Yes, it does. Your cycle is a natural detox. And I'm glad you said that. I do apologize. I need to bring on my special guest, but I have to answer this question. Yes. I know that there are birth control pills out there that some people take and it stops their cycle. That's not good because you're not detoxing your body. That's no different than the tampons that people use. Tampons are not allowing you to fully flow. And a lot of women that decide, okay, I'm going to use tampons all the time, and now I'm going to switch and start using Rain Feminine Care. The first months, maybe 3, 4, however many months, they're like, wow, I'm flowing really heavy. I mean, I'm not having any accidents, but I'm going through a lot of, heavy feminine flows. And it's like, yeah, that's because you never detoxed all that time you've been using tampons. Tampons don't allow you to fully flow. That's why we don't recommend them at all. And toxic shock syndrome is real. Google it. People are still losing limbs out there over that. So I don't condone tampons at all. I recommend our product, not just because I use it and I am a testimony, but because of all the other testimonies that I receive about this product and how much they love it, because it's working with the woman or the young girl's body and not against them. And I'll leave it at that. If you have any other questions, please chime in. But now I'm going to go ahead and introduce my special guest. Again, she is not only a wife and a mother, she is also a credit and financial literacy consultant. Welcome, Ms. Charmaine Santos, to The Recipe. Hello, Ms. Santos.
Well, thank you, Stepheny, for inviting me to this platform. I am so moved for the simple fact that you even allowed me to, come on your podcast with you. So it's my pleasure, and I'm definitely, appreciative to you for that.
Thank you. No problem. Hey, FYI, you have a little background noise. Is there something on? Yes, just a little bit. So you might want to go ahead.
Low. Hold on one second.
Okay, no problem.
Take care of that real quick.
All right. Okay. While she's working on that, let me go ahead and talk to, that's my thing today, feminine care. We're just going to stay on it. You need to really not sleep on panty liners. That's something we didn't get a chance to talk to. Okay. With panty liners, the ones that we carry, they have that graphene strip in them. So I use panty liners even when I'm not on my cycle because I just feel cleaner. And I will give you another fact about me that I don't normally reveal, but I mean, it is what it is. This is a very open conversation, and I believe we should normalize period talk because it's not a taboo subject. But my beautiful son that I gave birth to in 2011, well, he was a big boy, and he laid on my bladder. And so now, sometimes when I cough or I sneeze, not so much that, but really when I have a good laugh, if something's really, really funny, I may tinkle a little bit, but nobody knows because, and I know it, but I don't have to deal with the after effects of it because of our panty liners, because they absorb just as much as the sanitary napkins. And the thing about that graphene strip, for those of you that don't wear panty liners, period, or maybe you just use them from time to time, you should use them at least 7 days before your time of the month. Don't expect for the feminine care to just do all the work. And what I mean by that is this. I had a couple of ladies who tried the product and they liked it. Okay, I think every woman with more than one child has experienced the occasional tinkle. Yeah, I mean, I'm just putting it out there again. If we're going to have the conversation, we have to have the conversation. Like I said about odor, really, you need to. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Miss Beverly. We've got to be real because there are other women that have gone through this or are going through this, and they need to feel comfortable to have the conversation. Because what I find in what I do, because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I do on the side and I love it. A lot of women don't want to talk about this, but the men, they're like, yes, I think this is great. I'm going to buy this for my wife. I'm going to get this for my daughter. But when I talk to the women, they're like, oh no, I don't really talk about stuff like that. And I'm like, But anyway, panty liners. So I had these two ladies who did not, who tried the product, loved it, but they were like, I like the product, but it's not really working like you said it would. And I said, okay, well, first of all, I never said it was the cure. Dr. Finnie did not say this was the cure. I said, I'll put it to you like this. If I had 25 different women who tried Rain Feminine Care, I would have 25 different testimonies, all reflecting different things, maybe some of the same, but it's not a cure. Again, I still have cramps. I just don't have cramps like I used to. And they're very bearable. And I am happy with that because what I went through before, I don't want to go through that again. And I don't want to see anyone else go through that. Nevertheless, these two ladies, okay, hold on. As a more seasoned lady, I'm wondering if the product is something to use for me. I no longer get visits. Okay, I will get to that. Absolutely it is. And while I'm talking, let me grab this other one. And I know you see products behind me, but I have stuff all around me. And tonight is my demonstration night on Instagram, so I have to keep stuff close by. So I'll talk about this one here in just a minute to Miss Harvey, to Dr. Harvey. I want to acknowledge that correctly. So these two ladies were like, I like your product, but it's not doing what you said it would do. So I said, okay, fine, not doing what you said it would do. Tell me what your routine is. And they said, okay, well, this is how it's working. We're using the product during that time of the month and it's doing okay, but it's just not. And I said, well, what are you doing when you're not on your cycle? And they said, well, we have some panty liners that we had from over the counter and we didn't want to throw them away. So we started using those. And then when our time of the month came, we started using your product. And I said, oh, well, that's your problem because the same trash that's in the over the counter pads is also in the panty liners. So you are using trash before your cycle, and then you expect for this superior product to do all the work. And that's the only way I know how to put it is trash, okay? Because this is what this looks like from over the counter. And this, and it still got water in the bottom. It still got water in the bottom. It's crazy. Look at that. And that said 9 hours leak guard protection. Okay. And this is the Rain product. Look at that. It absorbs all of that. Absorbed it all. It can absorb up to 10 times its weight. Okay, panty liners. I got to stay on this real quick. So I told them, I said, you need to use the Rain panty liners. Use those. stick with everything Rain. You can't use a superior product for the 7 days of your time of the month and then switch and use a non-superior product, aka trash, when it's not that time of the month. That's not good for you. That's not good for your body. That's why you're having problems. That's why you're still dealing with issues. And when they switched and started using our panty liners and the sanitary napkins, now they will not turn away from that product. They love it. I said, you can give me those panty liners and I can use them in my demonstration. So they gave them to me. But what I'm saying again is you have to stick with a good product. You can't switch. You can't switch. And I'm not saying that everyone is going to flock to this product. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is it's worth a try. And there are other brands out there, okay? I'm not bashing any other brands. I didn't even say what that over-the-counter brand was that I used to use because, again, we don't do that. But you just have to be careful and you have to research what you have. And if you see something and it doesn't have ingredients on it or it doesn't tell you anything about what's inside, question that. I mean, literally, I'm looking at this package and it says, this is the Rain Feminine Care. This is the moderate pack, which I'm going to talk to Dr. Harvey about here. But not only does it have an expiration date, not only is it waterproof, not only is it pretty packaging, it tells you, this says 3D suspension with wings to prevent leaks. Soft cotton top layer provides ultimate comfort. Nobel Prize winning material, graphene strip infused, blah, blah, blah. You need to know what's in your product. You need to see something. And if you see something that you can't pronounce, consult a healthcare provider or don't buy it. Don't buy it. Look for something else. Of all the things, oh my gosh, we have got to take better care of ourselves. And then when it comes to the ladies that are past the stage of visitors, I plan to get there one day. And when I do, I will just be on our panty liners. Yes, I said that. You can use our product. You can use our panty liners with the wings if you're having incontinence issues, or, well, let me back up. It depends on how much. If it's like a serious incontinence issues, you may want to use our black pack. We have some men, they won't come on. I don't know if they'll admit it. I mean, I know a few, but they have told me in secrecy, so I won't put their names out there, but they use our product inside of their Depends. And matter of fact, this is not my testimony, but this is a testimony of another Rain ambassador I think it was her dad was going on a flight. And he was very nervous about the flight because he knew he could only get to whatever location by plane. And she said, look, I want you to take this and I want you to put it inside of your incontinence. What do you recommend with starting off with? Thanks, Jess. Okay, I'm going to get with you, Miss Arnold. Got you. I'm going to answer that question. Let me finish this up. So her father went ahead and took her advice and put this pack. It's when I tell you it's long, and it's got double wings, but it's very thin. And he was like, fine, I'll try it, because he knew he had to fly and he didn't want to because he knew he had incontinence issues and he's had accidents. But he used that product and he didn't even know he had an accident until he got off the plane and went to the restroom because it had absorbed everything. Okay. So you can use this product if you're having those type of issues. If you're having just a few little issues, you can use the moderate pack. That's the size of the one that I showed you when I did the demonstration, and it's going to absorb. And then this is our panty liners with wings. I just love this. This is my favorite because it's a little bit thicker than our regular wings, and it's a little bit longer, but it's still very thin. And so I love that. I love our panty liners with wings, and everything is $6 a package. So that price point is the same on everything. Just a phenomenal product. Now, for the person who said to me, what about themselves and what should they use? It depends on your feminine flow. Okay. I start my first 2 days of my cycle, because I do flow heavy, but not as heavy as I used to. I start on the black pack, and then I go down to our heavy pack the next 2 days. Isn't that pretty packaging? Okay. And then I go down to the moderate pack. And then by the end of my cycle, I'm back on panty liners. So that's how my cycle was. And I used to flow heavy all 7 days. And when I say heavy, I'm talking about to the point where, again, sorry to be graphic, but we got to put the information out there. You step out the shower and it's there. I thought I needed a blood transfusion to relieve, but I didn't. So now to flow heavy my first 2 days and not as heavy as I used to, and then it goes down to the end of my cycle day. I mean, by day 7, I'm back on panty liners. That is a miracle in itself. And I'm so thankful to God that this was brought to us and that Mr. and Mrs. Crump had the foresight to think ahead for women and want to do something that to me is going to change women's lives for generations to come. Okay. Because that's what we need to do. We need a generational change. We need to be able to look at our young girls, like my daughter that's 14, and give them this gift of health or of wellness instead of illness. We need to give them that. We need to have a generational change. We need the young girls to not have to deal with the things that we went through. Yes, we've gone through some stuff. We're still dealing with some stuff. But if they cannot go through this stuff and, imagine them growing up, getting married, having kids, and just living their best life 365 days a year without the issues that we've gone through during that time of the month. That's awesome. That's what I want. And I thought about something when I said women in the hospital and, giving birth. Something that I would love to see, and I know my friend Norman Ray has done this because I recommended it, but he would have done it anyway. His daughter was pregnant. She's actually expecting again, but she was pregnant. And I told him, I said, make sure you stack her carry-on bag, the bag that she takes to the hospital. You put that black pack in there, put it in there. But he would have done it anyway. But he did so. And from what I was told, oh, thank you, Yvette. She said, I love them too, although I don't have a cycle anymore. Awesome. Well, he put them in her bag and she started using them immediately after having her baby. And he was telling us in a little meeting, he said that the nurses and the people, the staff, they were just impressed at how she was healing well. And, they were like, I don't know what it is that she's using, but that's an awesome product. It was the black pack. Because let's be real, for ladies that have given birth, again, another taboo subject. Let's put it out there. You're not leaving the hospital with a tampon. You're leaving with a sanitary napkin. And I don't know what that is that they have at the hospital that they give you, that big, thick one that they give you as soon as you have birth. But this is thin and it's very long and it has double wings. It gets the job done. For ladies that have heavy feminine flows, this is the one you want. You want this. You're going to fall in love with this. I guarantee you. And if you don't, you can email me at drfcare@gmail.com and we can talk about it. But I haven't had anyone not love that black pack if they have heavy feminine flows because it's just that good. And to know that we're having more and more young women use this when they're giving birth is also great because that means that their bodies are going to come back in alignment after they have children. And their bodies are going to work with them because of the product that they have on their body after they give birth. That is a testimony. That is a testimony because it's good for them to have that product when they give birth. This wasn't even around when I had my kids, but nevertheless, it's here today. So we need to take advantage of it and use it. And then I wanted to talk real quickly before we exit about the Graphene Strip again, because I hit on that, but I was trying to exit off because I had the person that was coming on, but that's okay. We're moving forward. We'll connect later. With graphene, again, it is vibrational energy, always conducting, always alive, always moving. I showed you that demonstration with the 7-watt light bulb just to show you that means that it is always conducting. It's always working with your body. It's always helping with any type of heavy feminine flows, any type of cramping, odor, pH balance, a lot of things. I think one of the things they talked about is circulatory health. So there are a lot of benefits to graphene, and it is literally the thinnest material known to man, yet it is the strongest material known to man. So it's an anomaly in itself to think that can be the case, but it is true. And it really is a game changer because there is no other company that's using graphene in their feminine care. And it is, again, a Black-owned sanitary napkin company out of Atlanta, Georgia, Jewel LLC. I am so excited that although we didn't get to those hospital pads are big as a house too. LOL. I need some of those for my friend's daughter who is doing. Yes, you do, Dr. Harvey. You need the black pack. She needs the black pack. That's what she needs. I've seen at my age 55, my period comes and goes, and sometimes 2 weeks right after I had my period, My favorite color. Oh, yes, knowledge. Okay. Yes. And I do understand that, there are times where it comes and goes, but that's why you use one of the products based on your feminine flow during that time of the month. And then afterwards, use our panty liners. Preferably, if you think it may come back, just use the panty liners with the wings, because that should cover that. And then if it really does come back, then you switch back over to the sanitary pads. And now I haven't had this happen, but a lot of young ladies have talked to me about how their cycle is literally like going away. Like they don't use the product for like 5 days instead of 7 days. And I'm like, well, no, I can't say that, but I can say that my feminine flow starts heavy and then it decreases by the time I hit day 7, I'm on panty liners. But again, it depends on your feminine flow. You have to try the product. And if you're not sure what to get, we have what's called a Supreme pack. And I think it's $30. And you just go out there and you get that. And that Supreme pack has all 6 in them. So that gives you the ability to try the entire variety and see what works with your body. If you feel like, well, you know what? I don't really like the moderate pack. I like the heavy pack, or I like the super heavy pack. Do that, because I use these overnight as well, especially on my first 2 days. That's what I do. And so you just have to look at your body and know what works best for you. But any of the ones that we have in this brand, whether it's the regular panty liners, the panty liners with wings, the moderate, the heavy, or the super heavy, I guarantee you will find something to fit your feminine flow. All right. All right. Well, again, I do apologize that we didn't have our special guest on, but that's okay. I thank you for tuning in. And before I go, if you are on Instagram, please connect to my IG Live tonight at 9 p.m. as I top off the night with the final serving of health and wellness in the area of feminine care. I'm getting teary-eyed. I think that's because of the toxins that are in front of me on that over-the-counter feminine care product. Somebody said that one time, and I do think that's what it is. Nevertheless, for any men out there, please don't shy away from this product. And if you have important women in your life, you need this information. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the recipe. See you next time as I bring you all of the ingredients for living your best life. Thanks so much.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, comedian actress Coca Brown. And I got to give a huge shout out to my girl, Dr. Stepheny Finnie, because she put me on. What? To the Jewel Sanitary Napkin. These babies are amazing. Not only are they good to me, they're good for me. Not only do they help with absorption, moisture control, and protection, because yes, sometimes I like to wear white, but these babies also have a great ingredient called graphene that helps with cramps. Huh? Are you kidding me? So you're telling me that I'm protected and I can control my moods a little bit? I love it. So please make sure you hit up my girl, Dr. Stepheny Finnie. They have a variety of sizes for every kind of flow, whether it's heavy, light, overnight, she got you. So make sure you hit up my girl, Dr. Stepheny Finnie, and get you some Jewel Sanitary Napkins today. I strongly endorse these, honey, especially if you're like me. You need all the help you can get for that time of the month. All right?